Hi everyone. I often get questions about lighting on my Riparian tanks. So, how many hours do I have lights on? What kind of lights I'm using? And most importantly, how much light do these Riparian plants need in order to thrive? So in this video, I will get these questions answered, and we will also do a brief unboxing of a new LED light which I've got specifically for this Riparian. So before we get any further, I will answer this question on how much light you actually need in order to make your riparian plants thrive. And the answer is quite simple. You need tons of light. You really need a lot of light in order to make them grow fast and in order to make them grow lush. Well, all of these plants are basically house plants, and they're sold as medium to low light plants. And actually, if you grow these plants in a pot somewhere in your home, they probably don't need too much light, but they will also not grow as fast and as lush as, for example, plants in my riparian. So if you actually want your plants to grow fast, and you want them to consume lots of nutrients from water such as ammonia and nitrites and nitrates, and you want them to kind of fill up the space over your fish tank, then you actually need to provide them with tons of light. And here I've got quite a collection of lamps, LED lamps, but actually except that one really large and powerful LED lamp in the back, all of them are quite weak. So this LED lamp here, it only provides lights to floating plants in here, and maybe a bit to that Anthurium which grows in the back, but that's it. So all of these plants, they depend on essentially three of those lamps in here. As I've said, this larger lamp, LED lamp in the back, it's powerful and it does the job. But over here, I have a bit of a problem, actually, to be honest. So this lamp is a big problem because it's a cheap, no-brand LED lamp, which is very weak. It's just a collection of, well, it has some blue lights, but mostly white lights, and there are issues with this lamp because sometimes it switches off by itself, although it's on a timer, but nevertheless sometimes it doesn't kind of stick tightly to the plug and it switches off by itself. So and it's also a very weak light. Anything that is literally under this lamp will grow properly, but things that are kind of in this area, they don't really get much light. Here I have a desk lamp, which is just a regular spotlight desk lamp. It's great, but it's a spotlight lamp, so it provides sufficient amount of light only in this area. That's where it's at its brightest, and this bromelia is certainly getting enough light, and this orchid is getting enough light, but this area here is in darkness. So I want to replace two of these lamps with one powerful lamp. So the idea is to replace those two lamps with a new LED lamp which I got from Hygger, and I have to thank Hygger for sending me this lamp for free. So I will do an unboxing of this lamp. It's not a sponsored video, but they did send this to me for free, so I'm very grateful to them. And so we're going to unbox this lamp, and yeah, let's start with the name of this lamp, what this lamp is. So it's a Hygger Aquarium extendable LED light, HG918, and it's a 32 watt model. 32 watts should not, well, it's quite great actually for the lamp of this size. I haven't opened it yet, so we're going to see what's inside in a moment. Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's all we have in the box. So we'll put it aside, and yeah, that's all the packaging materials. All right, so one thing I can see at this point is that it's a very thin LED lamp. It's certainly much thinner than anything that I have. I will leave a link in the description of this video to this particular model, so if you're interested, you would be able to buy it. Oh, now I can see why it's called extendable, because it has these holders here, which you apparently, well, which you will attach to your fish tank, and they are basically moving. So you could attach it to a shorter tank or to a longer tank. So they basically move in different directions, like so, I guess. So it's also extendable because it has these metal brackets which are attached to the sides of the lamp, and you can essentially use them alongside with the plastic brackets or instead of plastic brackets, so it can actually fit on a much longer tank than what it is. And its total length is, let me check what is its total length. So this 32 watt model has a total length of 117 centimeters, so it would fit on a tank with up to 132 centimeter length. And yeah, that's a fairly long lamp. And great thing about it is that it's very thin. I think that's probably one of the thinnest LED lamps I've seen. In my case, I will be hanging it above my tank. So I don't really need these brackets, but they're very convenient and very useful if you would actually put them on a fish tank like so. And I guess, yeah. So we got a cord here, which should be 2 meters long. And most interestingly, we have here this control panel or control sink, which will set a timer and which will control its brightness. So it has this relatively small but seemingly convenient control panel. This is to switch it on and switch it off. This is a timer which has 3 modes, 7 hour, oh no, sorry, 3 hours, 6 hours and 12 hours. So you can set it up on a certain amount of hours and it will be on for a certain number of hours. I already have all my LED lamps on a timer, so they're all connected to a timer. So in this case, I will not be using the timer. It also has this option to control brightness, and you can actually reduce or increase its brightness. I think there's at least 5 different modes to control the brightness, and you can change whether you want to have red lights, blue lights, or green lights, and or all 3 of them at the same time. So we will switch it on right now and we'll see how it works. Okay, so it's on and it's really bright. You can see I can't even look at it. Now it has apparently all of its lights on, red, blue, and yellow. And this is what I want actually. It would be, oh, I'll switch it off. It would be great for growing plants actually. I wouldn't say this is an aquascaper light, but I'm not an aquascaper, so I'm not going to use it for aquascapes. But nevertheless, it has 3 different colors of LED lamps, which would be great for growing aquatic plants. But I guess it will also be great for growing riparian plants, and it will actually be excellent for riparian plants because on my other lamps I only have mostly yellow lamps and some blue lamps as well. So it would be great to add red lamps. But it certainly has an option of switching off either of these color lamps. So I could have, for example, let's try it on. I could have, for example, just blue and red, or I could have just yellow, but I'll probably keep all 3 of them. It's actually very bright, so we'll see if I need to control brightness, but for now on, I'll just keep it on. And let's get it installed. So the lamp is installed and it is on. I can say that this is a really bright lamp. I can't even look at it, but this is exactly what I need actually for this tank, because it will provide lots of lights to these bromeliads, to the Spanish moss growing up here, to all these peace lily plants in the front, and it will actually also provide light to this philodendron plant which we have growing in a pot in here. So yeah, definitely it would be great for an aquarium with plants, and including for aquatic plants, but I'm using it obviously for riparian plants, and I think it will provide more than enough light for a planted aquarium with aquatic plants as well. So yeah, very happy with the lamp. It works really nice, and because it's so thin, I can't even notice it here, and it looks quite kind of a more aesthetic here as compared to two previous lamps which I have removed. And in terms of energy consumption, yes, certainly two previous lamps consumed a bit less energy, but just like I think 5 watt less, and it's not much of a change. So now we will play around with uh, colors of LED lamps. I'll try to switch off some of the lights. So this is just blue and red lights. Looks actually absolutely amazing. So I think for a certain period of time I will keep these lights on. Especially it would be great in the evening because it adds a bit of this tropical night time type of lighting. Right, let's. This is just yellow lights. They're actually great as well, actually. And when it comes to repairing plants, I think it doesn't really matter if you use different colored LED lights or just a single colored LED light. So just yellow lights look great as well. So let's play around and see if we can. That's all of the lights, and yeah, I think you can just it's impossible to leave only blue lights on, but nevertheless, yes, changing lights creates some extra visual effect. This is how the setup looks only with blue and red lights, and the lamp in the back, I also switched it on blue lights only, so that looks absolutely amazing, and that's perfect light for evening time, for example, and yes, it looks like a tropical night. And the last question, how many hours do you need to have your lights on in order to grow your riparian plants? So I have a 9-hour lighting day, which is very similar to what we have in aquariums, for example, because this light is for aquarium plants only, and it is also for 9 hours a day. Normally 9 hours a day is absolutely fine for these plants, as long as your lights are light enough, as long as they're strong enough, and they provide lots of light to this plant. So because in some cases some of the plants might be overshadowed by other plants, and you need to make sure that light gets equally to all of them and nothing basically blocks light from other plants, and they're all quite light hungry, and it's important that they all receive a similar amount of light in order to thrive. And in terms of the type of lights that you need for your riparium, you can actually use all sorts of aquarium lights. And I'm using, as you could see from my other riparium, different LED lamps. And as long as they are bright enough, they provide a good spectrum of lights. And as long as they're good for your aquatic plants, they will be perfect for your riparian plants. For example, here I have a lamp that only has yellow lights, and they still grow quite fine. But of course, probably if there was more lights in this lamp, they would be thriving even more. But nevertheless, this is still a successful riparium. So I hope this video was useful. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and leave your comments and questions in the comment section, and I will see you soon.